want to spell out what happened. This group goes to Gracie Mansion in New York City, outside of Gracie Mansion, which is where Mamdani is living and where all New York mayors live. And they started a protest. Hold on, I'm trying to look for the name of it. Here it is. The Stop the Islamic Takeover of New York City protest and Stop New York City Public Muslim Prayer. 20 people showed up. Okay, so it's a small thing. There's a group of people who they don't like the Muslim takeover in New York as they see it, and they're out there protesting. Jake Lang was one of the participants. He was front and center during the Minneapolis protest too. He was arrested for J6 prior to that. The New York Post, which is not biased against conservatives, writes that he is a conservative right-wing influencer. That's how they describe him. And he was definitely there and part of that group. Then the counter-protesters showed up. They called their group Run the Nazis Out of New York City, Stand Against Hate. I think the Nazis are the first group, in their view, who are opposed to, the Muslim call to prayer being broadcast 5 times a day in New York. And they had about 125 protesters. So they had way more, 5 times as many or so than the other side. What happened? 2 protesters from the counter-protest, from the Stop the Nazis rally, shouted Allahu Akbar and tossed 2, count them 2, homemade devices into a crowd. An IED filled with nails that failed to go off. And now we're getting the police commissioner, Jessica Tisch. Is this cut, Deb? Commenting on it in particular. Yeah, I think we have this. And let's listen to the police commissioner describe what they've discovered so far.
I can confirm this morning that this is being investigated as an act of ISIS-inspired terrorism. I can also provide some additional information building on my remarks from Saturday evening. At that time, we were beginning to conduct preliminary analysis of 2 devices that were ignited and deployed earlier that day. Preliminary test results determined that these were not hoax devices nor smoke bombs. They were improvised explosive devices that could have caused serious injury or death. Part of our initial investigation was to determine what energetic substance, if any, was used in the 2 devices, and our analysis showed that one of the devices deployed by the subjects contained the substance triacetone triperoxide, known as TATP. Now, TATP is a dangerous and highly volatile homemade explosive that has been used in IED attacks around the world.
So both devices were IEDs in an act of ISIS-inspired terrorism right here on the homeland in New York City. And this, but for the listening audience, Zohran Mamdani was standing right next to her as she made those comments. So he's heard it all. But what we've heard from the mayor so far amounts to the following post on X, which was a day after the attacks. The attacks happened on Saturday. Thank God, by the way, they did not detonate and nobody was hurt. Thank God. But they easily could have. I mean, it's basically a nail bomb. And a day passes and he posts the following on Sunday. I'm going to read it in full because it's so outrageous. Yesterday, white supremacist Jake Lang organized a protest outside Gracie Mansion rooted in bigotry and racism. Such hate has no place in New York City. It is an affront to our city's values and the unity that defines who we are. Okay, so first of all, he's begun with white supremacy, alleged white supremacy. He's literally just seen police who are on the receiving end of that bomb throw attacked with an IED. And his lead is, there's someone I consider to be a white supremacist outside of Gracie Mansion, and that's bigotry and racism and has no place in New York City. Then he gets to the second piece, which is obviously the most important, and completely whiffs on who did what to whom and who said what as they did it, like Allahu Akbar. All right, he writes, violence at a protest. He goes right from, okay, it's an affront to our city's values and the unity that defines who we are. What followed was even more disturbing, but he doesn't say it, like who did it and what they yelled. Violence at a protest is never acceptable. The attempt to use an explosive device and hurt others is not only criminal, it's reprehensible, and the antithesis of who we are. I want to thank the brave men and women of the NYPD who acted quickly to help keep New Yorkers safe. Where is the part about ISIS-inspired terrorists shouting Allahu Akbar, throwing an IED at cops? We have video of one of the devices and of the moment. Let's watch it. SOT 6.
Yo, this nigga threw a bomb, bro. Yo, he threw a bomb. Yo, did he throw a bomb, bro?
It's right there on camera. You can see the guy run, throw the bomb, and shout Allahu Akbar. There's another video that's similar. And yeah, wait a minute. Is that, here he is? Oh my God. I'm so sorry, Stu. Mamdani did speak this morning next to Tish. And let's check in to see if he got to Allahu Akbar, ISIS-inspired IED thrown at cops.
On Saturday, a protest was held outside Gracie Mansion, where I live with my wife, Rama. Neither of us were home at the time. This was a vile protest rooted in white supremacy entitled Stop the Islamic Takeover of New York City. I'm the first Muslim mayor of our city. Anti-Muslim bigotry is nothing new to me, nor is it anything new for the 1 million or so Muslim New Yorkers who know this city as our home. While I found this protest appalling, I will not waver in my belief that it should be allowed to happen.
Oh my God. And then he went on to say the following. Many of the counter-protesters met this display of bigotry peacefully with a vision of a city that is welcoming to all. But a few did not. Two men, Amir Balat and Ibrahim Kailumi, traveled from Pennsylvania and attempted to bring violence to New York City. They are suspected of coming here to commit an act of terrorism. There is video of these two individuals throwing two devices toward the protest. No, nothing about an IED, nothing about Allahu Akbar, and nothing about the cops being on the receiving end of those devices. He can't bring himself to say it, Stu. And to deny what that was actually about is to endanger everyone in New York City.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about you, Megan. I'm very concerned if there's someone throwing devices into crowds. Are people getting hit in the head with iPads? Like, I don't know what. Thank you so much for your specificity there. It's funny too. I mean, I don't know anything about the group that was protesting there initially. I mean, I see, you see how the media is treating them, and I have no idea who they are or what they believe. But the speech part of it is the part that we defend, not the other side of it, not the side of people who are throwing bombs into a crowd. And I will say it's understandable to be confused in a moment like this. You have apparently the side that hates Jews and is being violent is the Stop the Nazi movement. That's we're supposed to believe the people throwing bombs into the crowds are the Stop the Nazi movement.
It makes you really like, what side am I on?
It's very confusing. Like it's funny because he just can't. This is a core tenet of who Mamdani is, right? Mamdani has a lot more in common, as we've seen many, many, many times, with the people who were protesting the protesters, shall we say?
Yes, he's not mentioning Allahu Akbar because those are his favorite words.
Yeah, right. But he didn't mention the names initially as well, because the idea is, oh gosh, well, there's a bunch of Nazis in the street. And, for a long time, and this is a sentiment that Mamdani himself on social media has sort of shown against both, people he sees as Nazis, but also even police officers back in the day, that it's kind of like okay when bad things happen to them. If we see an officer crying in his car after maybe his partner was killed, oh, well, there's good things going on in the world. This is kind of the guy he is. Now, he is. And I think, you've probably seen this as well, Megan. I know, being in New York, if you're there at all, I was there last week. The dude is everywhere. He is on every billboard. He's in every cab, constantly talking to you with that stupid smile of his.
He makes Kristi Noem look shy.
Wow, because that takes some doing. And you're right. He's everywhere. And this is a strategy for him, is to take a guy with beliefs that are way out of the mainstream, even for insane New Yorkers. I can say this, I was born in New York. Even for insane New Yorkers, he's way out of the mainstream of that group. And he thinks he can kind of paper over that with a nice big smile, as long as he smiles enough and is like, hanging out with kids and laughing at what they say at the kindergartners, people will go along with what he believes. The core of him is dark. I mean, this is a guy who believes really terrible things. People around him might even be worse. He's choosing them with an incredible amount of frequency.
There's no question he is surrounded by anti-Semites. There's no question. Long proven anti-Semites. It's like, and that, of course, is one of the reasons why he won't point out what this was, that this is radical Muslim terrorism. That's what this was. This is a radical Islamic terrorist attack on the people of New York City. That's what this was, including cops. And he will be aided and is being aided currently in that by the media. As you point out, there's New York Times. Here's the headline. U.S. authorities are investigating device thrown near Gracie Mansion. Well, now that omits some key details, doesn't it, New York Times? Here's NBC. Local. Mayor Mamdani was not at home when protesters lit device outside Gracie Mansion. I mean, to your point, they could have set an iPad on fire. I wouldn't know any different from that headline. And then there's GB News. That's our friends across the pond who are more fair and balanced. They're a relatively new cable outlet over there. They managed to get it right. How'd they get it right? They're not even American. How did they get a better headline than the New York Times has happened in New York City? Here's the GB News headline. Terror probe launched after ISIS fanatics hurl bomb near New York City mayor's home. Boom. There it is. It's not that hard, NBC and New York Times.
Yeah. One thing you can do is tell the story. This is supposed to be a very basic part of journalism. You just tell the story and to let people know what the facts are. And you don't, it's not your responsibility as a journalist to win for your side.
International disputes, inflation, rising national debt, digital currency. There's a never-ending list of reasons gold has risen over 700% in the last 20 years. And a never-ending list of reasons smart Americans diversify a portion of their savings into precious metals with Birch Gold Group. Gold can thrive during uncertainty, which is why it's a crucial part of a balanced financial strategy. It gives you peace of mind, given all the events that could impact the U.S. economy. See if holding gold in a tax-sheltered retirement account is right for you. Birch Gold can help you convert an existing IRA or 401k into an IRA in gold. Just text MK to the number 989898 to receive your free info kit on gold. There's no obligation, just useful information. With an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau and tens of thousands of happy customers, consider letting Birch Gold help you diversify with gold so you too can have peace of mind, regardless of the uncertainty. Text MK to the number 989898. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.